Hello, good almost afternoon, and welcome to Henley High School for another edition of Skyline Conference Softball. It is the final edition of Skyline Conference Softball this season. Henley wrapping up their league slate with a doubleheader against Hidden Valley. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. It is senior day here at Henley. The Hornets honored their two seniors prior, about half an hour before today's game. Annie Campos, who you see getting the start in the circle today, and Susie Nichols, the 9-hole hitter who has been putting up some great numbers this season. As Annie Campos gets ready to throw the first pitch, we'll give you a quick look at the Skyline Conference standings. You see the league title has already been decided. Henley will be the Skyline Conference champions for the 12th season in a row. A fantastic run by this team continues.
Hidden Valley played some meaningful games last week. They played for second place with Phoenix, and they ended up sweeping that series. So Hidden Valley has a lock on second place, which is important for their playoff run as well.
Annie Campos sending her first couple pitches to the backstop.
Take a little while to find the zone, but she's been really good at finding it this season. A lot of strikeouts. Doesn't walk many batters. She's had a good season.
2-0 the count here in the top of the first. Campos a little outside there. 3-0. Sam Lesher, the leadoff hitter for Hidden Valley. And she takes strike one on a 3-0 count. That one upstairs, and Lesher gets on with a walk.
These teams have met twice already this season, and in both meetings, Hidden Valley scored 3 runs. And I think that's a good goal for Henley. Keep this team at 3 or under, and then let your bats take care of the rest. Henley's been able to score a lot of runs this season.
That brings up Emma Mendez. Mendez, surprise bunt, but pops it right to Annie Campos.
She moved that runner over on the bunt. When you pop it up, that causes a little bit of trouble, but the runner on first did a good job of staying put. 1 out.
She moved to bunt like right at the last second. Popped it up high. Annie Campos able to come get it. So 1 on and 1 out for Aubrey Schmidt. The 1-0, high and away. Runner holds at first. That one low, 3-0. We mentioned these games don't matter as far as the conference standings go because Henley has already locked up the title, but they are important for seeding. Henley is neck and neck with the Dowls for the number 1 ranking in the OSAA computer rankings. So these last few games of the season are critical for each team.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference where you play and who you play on how your ranking ends up. Hidden Valley's in a situation, too, where they'd like to win there. I believe they're at 14, and you want to try to stay in that top 16, of course, and the higher up you get a better opponent. So Hidden Valley could definitely benefit from a win or two here today.
Annie Campos issues her second walk, so now there's 2 on and 1 out for Chloe Owens. Owens herself a senior, one of 2 on the Hidden Valley roster. She takes one up high.
This Henley team has played very well all season long. If they have one problem spot, it might be that they tend to get off to slow starts. Sometimes they give up a couple runs or they have a tough defensive inning. I'm sure Coach Stock likes to see them come out and just play great right from the first pitch. That's one thing they can work on.
Campos deals a strike here, so the count goes 1-1. Right in the middle of the zone, strike 2. Henley previously played Hidden Valley on April 16th and 18th. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Henley's shown a crazy ability to strand base runners for their opposition. And they got 2 quick base runners there for Hidden Valley, but now a double play could be in the works here with 1 out.
Two on, 2 out, passed ball, runners advance.
I'm sorry, there are 2 out. I forgot about that little pop-up. So there are 2 out.
It's Maddie Knable, the sole freshman in the lineup, popping one in. Stays fair, barely, but they get her out at first. Hidden Valley strands 2 in scoring position. Henley to the plate for the first time this game. When we come back, you're watching Hornets softball on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Still scoreless here at Henley as the Hornets come to bat in the bottom of the first.
Campos with all 3 putouts in that first inning. She made a good play at the end of the inning there. It was a ball that was just kind of rolling foul, and she had to make a decision quickly whether to let it roll foul or pick it up. She did pick it up just in time to get that 3rd out at first base.
Looks like it's Briella Jacob getting the start in the circle for Hidden Valley today. Anna Harper pops one into right. And the catch is made on the run for the first out.
It's a nice play out there in right field.
And that's going to bring up Samantha Moore. Moore takes strike 1.
These Hornets saw Jacob over in Murphy, Oregon earlier this season. She pitched in those games as well.
Yeah, we mentioned Henley previously played Hidden Valley April 16th and 18th. They made 2 trips over the hill to Grants Pass in a span of 3 days. Came back with 8-3 and 13-3 wins. Briella Jacob got the start in both of those games. Pitched all but 2/3 of an inning. So this Henley lineup has already scored a bunch on her. They know what she brings. Nichols pops one into the infield, and it's caught for out number 2.
It's a good start for Hidden Valley, getting the first 2 hitters. You kind of forget, with all the success this Hornets team has had, there are only 2 seniors. Annie Campos and Susie Nichols. Got a lot of kids returning for next season.
And it is Annie Campos up to bat now with nobody on, 2 out. Swings at the first pitch. Pops it to shallow right, and there's out number 3. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Hidden Valley. We move to the second. Still scoreless. Mason.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Well, in Henley's first game against Hidden Valley this season, they scored 1 run in the first. In their second game, they scored 2. But now they've scored 0. So we're still scoreless as the Mustangs come back to the plate here in the top of the second. Bit of a different approach than we're used to seeing from Henley in the first inning, Kevin. The Hornets were a lot more aggressive than they usually are. Swinging on first pitch a couple times. They usually like to just sit back and wait for the right one.
Yeah, they're a disciplined team at the plate for sure. I think from what we've seen, if they see a pitcher that throws strikes, I think they will be aggressive. They'll swing that bat sooner in the count. And if there's a pitcher having a little bit of trouble up there, they'll make that pitcher earn the strikes. So Jacob was throwing a lot of strikes, and Henley was taking their swings. And it worked out good for the Mustangs with a 3-up, 3-down first inning.
Annie Campos back to the circle. Brings an ERA of 2.74. 17-1 record. Has walked 60 and struck out 154.
I'm still amazed by that strikeout number. It's a lot of hitters going down on strikes.
Henley's last game against Cascade Christian on Wednesday, she had a season-high 13 strikeouts. Allowed just 2 hits.
Yeah, when you consider most of Henley's games have only gone 3 or 5 innings, she hasn't had a chance to throw that many pitches compared to a 7-inning game. So that's a lot of strikeouts.
1-2 count after that foul ball by Bailey Sandquist. Campos rolls that one in the dirt. Yeah, you mentioned a lot of Henley's games have been shorter. Annie Campos has only pitched 5, complete games this season, 7-inning complete games.
Yeah, right. So when you consider all those extra innings she could have pitched in a full game, that would be even more strikeouts probably. So she's had really, really good senior season.
2 of those complete games were against Hidden Valley. Across both of them, she allowed 8 hits, 3 earned runs, walked 10, and struck out 20. Two in the dirt. Well, either that was actually a 3-2 or a hitter. Either way, Sandquist takes first. And once again, the leadoff runner is aboard for Hidden Valley. That was a walk.
When teams are able to get that first runner on, we usually see bunt.
They do bunt. They can't complete the throw to first. That's going to be, they're going to try to go for third. She's safe. Umpire initially signaled out, but Bailey Sandquist able to beat the tag.
That was a good throw over there. From this angle, I couldn't see it. I have to assume the ball must have popped out of the glove because the throw was in plenty of time. So
Henley infield is going to come have a conversation now. Hidden Valley with runners on the corners, nobody out in the top of the second.
Yeah, Hidden Valley had 2 runners on in the last inning as well, and Henley was able to keep them off the scoreboard.
Emily Hill was the one who laid down the bunt there. And it brings up the pitcher, Briella Jacob. Another one in the dirt.
Henley's defense can be very good. We've seen that. But in the last couple games, they've been off to some starts that they'd kind of like to forget with a few errors here and there. And they're going to try to clean that up before the playoffs.
1-0. Big swing and a miss.
The runner at first is holding. They'll try to move here if they can.
One. Hit to the circle. They throw to first, but the run scores. Hidden Valley takes a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second.
Those are tough decisions for any player at any level. That was a slow roller back to the circle. You have to decide whether to go for the lead runner and take that chance at home or get the sure out. And that time Campos took the out.
This is the first time Henley has trailed in Skyline Conference play this season. Brings up Natalie Fay. Fay tries to lay down a bunt, misses, strike 2.
Hidden Valley's had a bit of a roller coaster season. They've won a few, lost a few, but I think they've definitely claimed their right to be the second best team in the Skyline.
That one, a passed ball. Throw over the head at first base. Another run is going to come home to score. And in the process, there's an out on the base paths. I think they got Fay trying to stretch 2.
Yeah, they did. It was a good good work by Henley just staying with that play. You can't give up on it. They did get that out, but a lot of chaos going on before the out. Having a lot of trouble getting the ball where they want it to be here defensively.
So the bases are empty with 2 outs for the leadoff hitter, Sam Lesher.
Yeah, there hasn't been a ball hit out of the infield. And they still have 2 runs to show for it, so.
Strike 2. One, two, the count to Lesher. That one up high and into the backstop. Two, got her looking. Right on the bottom of the zone. And that retires the side. Henley with some work to do, trailing 2-0 as they get ready to bat in the bottom of the second here on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Hidden Valley scores on a ground out and a dropped third strike that was overthrown at first base. And the Mustangs lead 2-0 as Henley comes to bat in the bottom of the second. Belle Birch, Leliana Segura, and Jillian Vickery are due up for the Hornets.
This is all very familiar. The Cascade Christian game was a lot like this. Henley finds himself behind by a couple runs. A little sloppy play to start. But I think they have faith in their bats, and they'll try to get some runs across here in the second.
First pitch to Belle Birch is hit past the circle to second, and a throw over to first for the out. The aggressiveness at the plate continues. I believe that's now 3 of the first 4 batters that we've seen swing on the first pitch. That one popped up to right field. And another great catch on the run there. That's Natalie Fay out there playing the right side.
She's had 2 nice catches, and what's made those catches possible, she gets a really good jump off the bat. She's able to get her speed up and make that catch. Good play.
2 pitches, 2 outs. Jillian Vickery takes the ball. Vickery drives one right to short. And the catch is made by Aubrey Schmidt. Another quick 1-2-3 inning. Just 4 pitches thrown that inning by Briella Jacob. Hidden Valley back to the plate, leading 2-0 in the top of the third when we come back here on mybasin.com.
Comfortable and not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
Through the first 2 innings here at Henley, Annie Campos has thrown 34 pitches for the Hornets. Briella Jacob has thrown 9 for the Mustangs.
That's crazy. Hidden Valley getting outs early in the count to their advantage so far.
Campos deals ball 1 to Mendez. She popped out to Campos on a bunt her first time up. Here she swipes the ball foul in front of her own dugout.
At the midpoint of the season, Henley was scoring 5, 6, 7, 8 runs in early innings. I think what we're seeing is the other teams improving quite a bit. There's been a lot of improvement in the Skyline. So it's not quite as easy.
Strike 2.
Henley's still been able to score a lot of runs, but they've had to earn those later in games.
The 1-2. Got her swinging.
Looked like maybe a little change of speed on that one. Fooled the hitter a little bit. Good pitch for out number 1.
Aubrey Schmidt walked her first time up. Made a nice catch at shortstop earlier, too. Hits one right to first, and there's a quick out for Henley.
Good play over there by Gracie White. Ball took kind of a short hop. She played it perfectly.
Looks like we've got another baseball that's reached the softball field. That one rolled down all the way to the Hidden Valley dugout.
Yeah, we've mentioned before, these fields are close together. The boys are playing right behind us. Also played Hidden Valley today. And we'll see a few foul balls from time to time.
Chloe Owens takes ball one low for Hidden Valley. She struck out her first time up. Let's get you an update from the baseball field while we mention that as Campos throws one into the backstop. It's 1-1 between Henley and Hidden Valley heading to the bottom of the second. Hornets baseball team has not clinched the Skyline Conference Championship yet, but they need to win just one of the games in today's doubleheader to do so. The 2-0 is low.
That was in there for a strike, I think.
But called a strike.
Yeah, that was right there on the...
Right on the bottom of the zone.
Yep.
That one tipped foul. Count goes to 2-2.
Much better start to this inning for Henley. They've had to deal with a lot of base runners already in this game, but none here in the third.
Payoff pitch here for Annie Campos. Full count.
Looks like that one just missed. Good two-strike pitch.
That one up high, Owens walks.
We've still yet to see a ball hit out of the infield. Hidden Valley's been able to get their lead through walks and some kind of chaotic defense from Henley. Kind of a strange game so far.
Brings up Maddie Knable. She grounded out to end the first inning. Takes strike one. A 1. Drilled to second. And a nice job there. I think that might have been Samantha Moore. Yeah, Samantha Moore playing in a little close. Able to field a tough grounder and get the out at first. Henley still trailing 2-0. Getting ready to come to bat in the bottom of the third. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. This is Hornets softball on mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Bottom of the order due up for Henley as they trail 2-0 in the bottom of the third. We mentioned Briella Jacob has thrown 9 pitches through the first 2 innings for Hidden Valley.
Yeah, her defense has played perfect, just about as well as you can play. Had some line drives, and they've had to chase a few in the outfield, but they've made every play. Henley's bats just can't get going.
4 of Henley's first 6 batters swung on the first pitch. That's not an approach we're used to seeing for Henley. But Natalie Hudson takes the first one for a ball. Drills this one, popped up into shallow center, barely leaving the infield. And Schmidt comes over to make the catch for the out.
Henley's hitting the ball. This is one of those games where you're not seeing a lot of strikeouts. They've just been playable hits. And that's usually a good thing. I think Henley will work their way out of this. They'll start getting some base hits at some point. But they continue to stay aggressive.
Gracie White takes strike one. The 0-1. Sent a grounder into left field, and Henley's got their first hit. White nearly got caught between first and second, but was able to slide back in safely.
Yeah, she rounded first with no hesitation. She was trying to stretch that into a double. Not even a question. And then she got halfway there and thought, well, maybe I better turn it around. And she got back just in time. So that was a well-hit ball. And Henley finally has a base runner.
Brings up Susie Nichols. Takes the first pitch in the dirt. White represents not just Henley's first hit, but their first base runner. Nichols, we mentioned, one of two seniors on this Henley team, hitting .453 in the 9-hole. Slaps one past the circle here, and they can't get her at first. 2 on and 1 out. And we are back to the top of the order with Anna Harper.
That was well done by Nichols. We see that a lot. She gets out of that box in a hurry, hitting from that left side. And she's fast enough to beat that throw.
Harper hitting .457 this season. Is tied for the team lead with 6 home runs. Pops one behind the safety netting.
And it's usually good for an extra base hit or two in every game. Be a good time to get one of those right now.
Oh, 1 upstairs. Harper drills this one, a liner into center field. They can't field it cleanly, and the bases are loaded.
Henley didn't want to take a chance on that runner at third. White might have been able to score there.
Samantha
Moore a chance to hit, yeah.
She's hitting .393, but that goes up to .414 with runners in scoring position. She can tie the game or perhaps even give Henley the lead here. She takes a strike. Bases loaded. 1 out for Henley, trailing 2-0 in the bottom of the third.
Hidden Valley's thinking double play here. Their infield's in just a little bit.
Moore pops one to Schmidt at short, and there's 2 down. And if there's a player you want to bat in a situation like this, it is Annie Campos.
Most certainly. Got a lot of experience. She's a good hitter.
hitting .526 with runners in scoring position. Not just that, she simply has the clutch gene. It's something you can't really look at statistically. You just have to watch.
Yeah, some players are just really excel under pressure, and she's one of those.
Look at what she did on the basketball court and what she's done here on the softball diamond.
Mustangs are playing deep. Outfielders back near the fence. The infield's moved back as well. With 2 out.
Campos has hit a home run off Briella Jacob. Takes a pitch in the dirt here. That home run came in the first game these teams played this season. Sends this one into left field. It gets down. 1 run scores. Throw gets away at third, but they will hold Anna Harper. So the bases remain loaded with 2 outs.
Matt, I think they pushed 2 across there. And I believe Campos at second. Is that right?
Yes.
So the score is tied.
Scoreboard says 2-2.
Yes.
Well, that's how quick Henley is
Yeah.
on the base paths.
Yeah. Yeah, they were all moving on that pitch. And nice little base hit into shallow center field. Scored 2.
So it's actually 2-2 with runners on second and third for Belle Birch.
Replacement runner in at second base for Campos.
It's Alana Benson. Annie Campos delivering to tie the game here in the bottom of the third. Birch chops one to third, and that will end the inning. But Henley ties it up as we head to the fourth here on mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Annie Campos back to the circle for Henley in the top of the fourth after tying it at the plate in the bottom of the third. 2-run single. It wasn't a super hard hit ball. It barely got past the infield and barely got down. I think just out of the reach of Emma Mendez's glove. But those are the margins that can decide games, Kevin.
Yeah. Yep. And I can appreciate Henley's, their formula. They haven't changed their lineup at all. They just stick with what they've been doing, and they have confidence. Even when they get down by a couple runs, they just stick with what they're best at, and it's worked out really well for them.
Swing and a miss here to start the fourth inning by Sandquist. Another big hack.
That's the mark of a good team. We've seen Henley down late in games, early in games, and they really don't seem to change. Their demeanor stays about the same. They don't get too worried. They don't panic. They play right through it. They won a lot of games.
That one outside for Sandquist. She's a power hitter for Hidden Valley. She broke the single season home run record with 6 last year. Did that while hitting .534 with 42 RBI. Helped the Mustangs to a program record 19 wins. Doing all that as a sophomore is pretty impressive. Of course, Henley's got a couple of impressive sophomores too.
Yeah, this Henley team overall is a young team. Oh,
Sandquist goes down looking.
That was a good changeup. That was a slow strike, just what you want to fool a hitter with 2 strikes. That was well done.
Emily Hill bunted into a fielder's choice. Her first time up. Takes strike 1 here. Oh, 1 in the dirt. The 1-1, strike 2.
Hidden Valley really hasn't hit the ball that hard. They still haven't hit one out of the infield.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Annie Campos strikes out the first 2 batters here in the top of the 4th.
And she's definitely found the zone now.
So the pitcher, Briella Jacob, who she just drove in 2 runs off of, is going to try to keep this going. Looks at a strike here. Jacob grounded out to score a run her first time up. Now looks at a ball. Called strike 2. Payoff pitch here for Campos. Gets away in the infield, and Jacob is aboard.
That was a good effort at second by Samantha Moore. She had to dive to get a glove on it. She did a good job just stopping the ball from rolling further into the outfield, but not able to get the out at first.
Looks like a change here. I think we've got a courtesy runner. It's Adriana Orellana, the courtesy runner for Jacob.
Get the lineup card squared away. Now we're back at it.
Natalie Fay comes up and takes strike one.
Fay's played some good defense in right field today for Hidden Valley.
Fouls this one off to go down 0-2. Fay struck out her first time up, but strike three was dropped, which ended up allowing a run to score. The 0-2 foul.
Good placement on that pitch on the inside part of the plate.
Another 0-2. Got her swinging. A 3-strikeout inning for Annie Campos. Sends us to the bottom of the fourth, tied at 2. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. You're watching Henley Softball on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
2-2 between Henley and Hidden Valley as the Hornets come to bat in the bottom of the fourth. Leliana Segura set to lead things off, and we mentioned Henley's got some impressive sophomores. She is one of them.
Yes, she's been a terror at the plate. Grand slam in the last game, a lot of extra base hits recently. She's really hitting the ball well.
Hitting .420 at the plate this season. Tied for the team lead with 6 home runs. She comes into this game having homered in each of her last 3 contests. Homered in both games of a doubleheader at Klamath Union on April 22nd. And hit a grand slam, as you mentioned, Kevin, on Wednesday against Cascade Christian. Looks at ball one here. Takes strike one.
Hidden Valley with a good outing so far. You're on the road against the #1 team, and you're holding them to 2 runs in the 4th inning. So Hidden Valley's playing well here today.
Segura also a relief pitcher for Henley. We're probably going to see her at some point today, given that this is a doubleheader.
Yeah, Laley's done well in the circle as well when she's come in for relief. Pitched very well recently.
Has a 4.07 ERA in 8 appearances. Takes a strike here. The count goes full. She thought she walked. Full count to Segura. Slaps this one foul.
The Mustangs know about her power. The outfield playing very deep, and the infielders are at the grass.
Segura lines this one just past a glove at third and barely beats the throw to first.
That's one of those situations where if you're playing deep like that at shortstop and that ball isn't hit very hard in that dirt, it's a slow roller. Unless you really charge the ball and make a quick throw to first, you're not going to get that runner. And Lily was easily safe over there.
Emily Hill couldn't quite get her glove to that, but another nice play by Aubrey Schmidt coming over and getting that throw to first that Segura barely beat.
Yeah, there's not much margin of error for a ground ball. If it's a slow roller, you've got to really hustle to it and make a hard throw to get the runner.
Vickery pops one into foul territory in left field, and Sam Lesher comes over to make the catch. So 1 on and 1 out for Natalie Hudson.
That's an important out to try to keep Henley off the scoreboard here. Look for a double play.
Hudson popped out to short her first time up. Drills this one back to the fence. It's going to stay in, but a little advance. Segura to third. A stand-up double for Natalie Hudson.
Good hit. Good piece of hitting there from Natalie. If we had one of those windy days, Matt, that we've seen, that ball might have been out of here.
I think it would have.
Me too. It just hit the base of the fence on the fly. And Henley's back in business with 2 in scoring position.
Gracie White got a hit in her first at-bat. One here would give Henley the lead. Takes ball 1 upstairs.
Yeah, conditions are perfect today. None of that wind, a lot of sunshine.
One-oh fouled off. White hitting .397 on the season.
She has home run power as well. I think she has a couple.
That's exactly right. She's got 2. I think .397, .414 with runners in scoring position. 1-1. To the backstop, gets away, run comes in. And Henley takes the lead.
Good decision by Segura on third. Didn't hesitate. As soon as that ball got past the catcher, she made her way in there in plenty of time. Henley could take the lead.
Good decision. Good decision by Hudson, also holding up at third.
Right.
That's been perhaps Henley's one big weakness at various points this season, has been their base running.
Yeah, they made a few base running errors, but the last few games I think they've done a better job. And that was an example there.
Two to Gracie White. Full count.
Anything hit deep should score the runner.
Full count. And White walks.
That pitch was just a little high for ball 4. And now Coach Stock over there giving the signals with runners at the corners, 1 out.
Susie Nichols got a hit her first time up. As a baseball came on, the umpires haven't noticed.
Yeah, that one almost hit the left field.
Yeah,
yeah.
That landed right near Sam Lesher. She was trying to get the umpire's attention for a good 10 seconds there.
You know, it's hard enough playing out there and worrying about catching the softballs. We have to turn around and catch the baseballs too. That makes it a little more difficult.
So now we're ready for the first pitch to Nichols. That one up high into the backstop. White advances to second, but Hudson holds at third.
Yeah, good work by Hudson. It looked like he might be able to score, but that was a good bounce off that backstop right back to the catcher. She would have been out by a long margin, so good decision to stay at third.
Strike one to Nichols. We'll give you an update from the baseball field since one of their balls came over here. It's 3-1 Henley in the bottom of the 4th.
Have a couple competitive games today here at Henley.
Nichols fouls one off. The 1-2. Another foul. Henley now getting some long at-bats in. This will be the 6th pitch to Nichols. Upstairs, ball 2. The 2-2. Fouled off.
Good battle here. You're right, Matt. This is the first extensive battle at the plate we've seen with Jacob.
Two gets away. ball 3.
That was fouled off to the third base side, I think.
Yep, looks like it, yeah.
Okay, so it's 2-2, is that right?
Bat did make a bit of contact there. Nichols gets hit. And the bases are loaded again. And we are back to the top of the order with Anna Harper.
Yeah, Nichols rewarded for just hanging with it, staying with it in there. There's another baseball just behind second base.
And we got another baseball on the softball field.
Yeah.
That's the third one today. Some hazards that come with building these fields so close together. That was a 10-pitch at bat for Susie Nichols. Harper lines one to short. They throw home. They won't get her. Another run scores for Henley, and the bases remain loaded.
It was well done by Harper just to get the bat on the ball. Hidden Valley could have tried to get 2 there and end the inning, but they tried to get that lead runner and just couldn't execute that play, and Henley extends their lead to 2.
Now the Mustangs are going to talk about it as Samantha Moore gets set. Actually, no. We're going to have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Hayden Higgins.
Both teams with a little bit of strategy here. This is a key point in the game. We're used to seeing Henley get big innings, and this sizing up to be one with the bases loaded. They get a couple of hits here.
Higgins, another one of the sophomores on this Henley team that figures to be a big piece in the years to come. She's not a usual starter, but she's done some great work in her 21 at-bats this season, hitting .381, has a home run and 11 RBI.
Yeah, when she's had a chance to hit, she's done quite well. So she'll have a chance to drive some runs in right here.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Henley up 4-2 with a chance to extend it. That one fouled off. That home run came in the first game of the doubleheader at Klamath Union on April 27th. This is her first plate appearance against Hidden Valley this season. Swings and misses, strike 2. The 0-2. Higgins pops it up, and it's caught in the circle. So Annie Campos once again comes to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Yeah, she delivered last time, had a base hit to center field, scored a couple.
Ball one. And now we've got the wind picking up a bit.
Yeah, for the first time today, we're seeing a little wind here. It's blowing straight out toward the fence.
That one, ball too high. Jacob not trying to give Campos anything hittable. That one's hit well, and that one is out of here. A grand slam for Annie Campos. No doubt about that one.
Not a bad way to celebrate senior day with a grand slam. And there's that big inning we've talked about. Henley just has those almost every game. And they scored a ton right there.
Yeah, you talk about big innings, Kevin. Henley used an 8-run sixth inning to pull away from Cascade Christian. They were trailing 3-2 heading into the bottom half of that inning. That 8-run spot propelled them to a 10-3 win, and now with that grand slam by Annie Campos, they've scored 6 here in the bottom of the fourth. They lead 8-2 after trailing 2-0 heading to the bottom of the third.
Annie Campos with 6 RBI in the last 2 at-bats. Good afternoon for her.
Here's one hit well, back towards the wall. But there to make the catch is Mendez. So that ends the inning. A 6-run inning for Henley, powered Annie Campos 2-out grand slam. Hornets lead 8-2 headed to the 5th here on mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So let's start here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Henley leading 8-2 as we head to the top of the 5th. Hornets already clinched the Skyline Conference Championship for the 12th season in a row. So at this point, all they're trying to do is maintain their number 1 ranking.
Yeah, the Dalles and Henley have been flipping back and forth at 1 and 2. The computer rankings, once they get all the information in there and they sort it out, Henley's at number 1 today. And if they want to keep that ranking and get the best possible seed, they need to win these 2 games here today. And they're well on their way. We mentioned that Hidden Valley scored 3 runs in each of the first 2 games where these teams met. And that's just about where we are right now. So if Henley defense can hold out, they'll pick up the first game of this doubleheader.
Strike 1 to Lesher. That one's a ball. So the OSA computer rankings, for those who aren't familiar, they use an equal split of 2 rating systems to determine the overall ranking. They use the RPI rating and the Coley rating. And it's pretty close, actually, between the top three teams. Henley's got the number 1 RPI, number 2 Coley rating. The Dalles has the number 3 RPI, number 1 Coley rating. And Pendleton, who's ranked number 3 overall, has the number 2 RPI and number 3 Coley rating. Campos gets Lesher swinging for a strikeout.
Those rankings are all based on strength of schedule, who you play, and then who you beat, and then whether or not you win on the road. You get points for that as well. The Coley ranking is teams you play in your state, and the RPI is overall. So that's kind of how those numbers end up to be the way that they are. So Henley playing the number 14 team today. I think that would keep their ranking just about where it should be at number 1. But it's complicated.
It is. Lined to Hudson. And they get Mendez on the throw to first.
That was a good scoop over there. Gracie White, that's what you want out of your first baseman. Not every throw is going to be on the mark. And that was a difficult throw to catch. And she came up with the ball. Good work.
Aubrey Schmidt up to bat with nobody on and 2 outs. Swings and misses at the first pitch. She's looked pretty good at shortstop today. Made a few nice plays, nice throws. Another big swing and a miss.
Yeah, up until that last inning, Hidden Valley's defense played really well today. And then Henley started hitting the ball. Changed that a little bit.
The 0-2. Floated up top for a ball.
Those change-ups, it's hard as a hitter to see that ball coming slowly like that. It's a good pitch.
Lined foul. I think that one hit the umpire.
Yeah, the umpire had to do a little dancing over there to avoid that one. Took a little tumble. He looks all right, though.
Man, nobody's safe out here today, Kevin.
You got to stand your toes
Yeah,
out
umpires almost getting hit by a liner. Left fielder almost gets hit by a baseball. And Campos strikes out Schmidt to end the inning. Henley back up to bat in the bottom of the 5th, right after this break here on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Bottom of the 5th inning here at Henley. Hornets scored 6 in the 4th. If they score 4 here, the game will end by run rule.
Yeah, this team's done that a number of times this year. Able to end the game in 3 or 4 or 5 innings.
It'll be Segura, Vickery, and Hudson to lead things off as the Hornets batted through the lineup in the fourth. Segura, 1 for 2, got a hit her last time up. Takes ball 1 here. We were talking about the computer rankings last inning and how those are calculated. You look at Henley's remaining schedule outside of the doubleheader here against Hidden Valley today. They will be hosting Caldera, who's the number 6 team in 5A, next Wednesday. Or next Thursday, sorry. You look at the Dowls, though, and they've got 3 games. They've already wrapped up league play. They've got 3 games against 6A teams. 2 of those are on the road.
Yeah, we'll have to look at the rankings. May freeze, Matt, after today. I'm not sure. And I know in basketball they freeze after you're finished with your league games, and then teams will add games to try to use them as tune-ups for the playoffs, which will start the next week. So I'm not sure if next week's games will factor into the rankings. We'll have to look into that. But it would make sense, a team like the Dowls, they want to get some games in. And they've been there before. They know how to win titles.
Segura walks, so the leadoff runner is aboard for Henley. The Dowls and Henley played in last year's state championship game. It was a 16-0 win for the Dowls. Jillian Vickery popped out her last time up. She's 0 for 2 today.
Those folks who have been watching our streams, especially from out of town, they've seen the hail and the wind and the rain and the dark and the cancellations. They wonder, why in the world do you live in Klamath Falls? Well, today is why. These are the type of days we're used to.
That one's a ball to Vickery. Yeah, after a cold season, it is finally softball weather here in the Basin. Currently 76. We're looking at highs in the 70s all week this week.
They've got a tent set up in the outfield beyond the fence for between games. They'll have a barbecue. I asked the gentleman if he does this every week, and they said, well, they've tried. But this is the first time they've actually been able to do it without the wind blowing their tent across the street or having the hail on the barbecue. Or it's actually good enough weather. Henley offense is rolling now. They've got a couple of batters on base, nobody out here in the 5th.
All right, so I did just find the rankings freeze date. The rankings do freeze on Monday for baseball and softball.
Okay. So today's games will be the last ones that count for the ranking. That makes sense.
So Henley just needs to win both, and they should secure the number 1 seed.
You would think so, unless the Dallas play somebody highly ranked, and there's something going on there. But yeah, Henley's in good shape with a couple of wins today for sure.
One count to Natalie Hudson. The Dowls does play on Monday. They're on the road at 6A Barlow. As the throw to first gets away, and another run will score for Henley. 9-2 Hornets. Natalie Hudson.
Yeah, there was a collision at first between Hudson and the first baseman. It was just incidental. They kind of ran into each other, and then the base kind of got in the way as well and tripped her up. She's limping a little bit. Coach Stock is over there asking her if she's going to be able to continue. She took a pretty good tumble.
Hudson seems to be all right.
I think she's going to stay in there.
And we are also going to have a pitching change, it looks like. Looks like Chloe Owens is warming up in the circle for Hidden Valley. Runners on the corners, nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth for Gracie White. Henley needs 3 more runs to end the game by run rule.
The deeper Henley gets into these games, the better their offense gets lately. It just seems to be the pattern. They really get it together. They can score a lot. Their lineup top to bottom, we've talked about it before. You don't see many teams where just about every hitter can hit a home run. Just Henley's fortunate this season. They have good hitters, and they've put up 9 so far in this game.
Yeah, Henley's got 8 different players with a home run this season, including Gracie White.
You just don't see that. That's a whole lot of your dugout being able to hit the ball deep. That's really a good thing to have if you're a coach. Hidden Valley outfielders shifting to the right just a little bit.
White lines one to short. They get an out at second, but the run comes in to score from third.
Gracie will pick up an RBI.
And that'll bring up Susie Nichols as Henley now has a 10-2 lead with 1 out. Strike 1. The 0-1, Nichols fouls it behind the Hidden Valley dugout. Almost hit somebody back there. Like I said, nobody is safe today, it seems like.
You can't fall asleep out there. Nichols is good about getting a bat on the ball. She'll make pitchers work. I think she had a 10-pitch at bat earlier. I believe that was her.
Oh, 2 to Nichols, ball 1. That one in the dirt, full count to Nichols.
Gracie White over at first. She's going to need to wash her uniform tomorrow. She's had a couple of dive backs.
Nichols pops that one foul behind the Hidden Valley dugout. All right, so I had to take a look through the OSAA rule book. And as we mentioned, the Dow's is traveling to Barlow on Monday. Barlow is 6A, and games between teams more than one classification away from each other don't count.
That's right.
Toward the Coley ranking.
That's right.
And the Coley ranking is the ranking where the Dow's is number 1. So that further confirms that all Henley should have to do is win both games of this doubleheader today to secure the number 1 seed. Nichols popped out to first, so Anna Harper comes to bat and pops one into, looked like almost foul territory near first base. And coming over to make the catch for the out was Lesher. So no run rule for Henley, at least not yet, but they do add 2 more. Hidden Valley back up to bat in the bottom of the 6th. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. You're watching Henley Softball on mybasin.com.
Comfortable and not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
10-2 Henley as Hidden Valley comes to bat in the top of the 6th. Hornets scored 6 in the 4th, added 2 more in the 5th to blow open what was a tied game. Annie Campos back to the circle. She's allowed just 1 hit so far. Some miscues in the field by Henley helped push those 2 Hidden Valley runs across in the top of the 2nd inning.
Yeah, Campos walked a few more hitters than I think she would be comfortable with early. I think that attributed to a couple of those runs as well. But She's pitched very well late in this game.
Chloe Owens is 0 for 1. She was one of those walks early in the game. She also struck out. Swings and misses here for strike 2. Look at Henley. They're currently on a 19-game winning streak, although that does include a pair of forfeits by Mazama 2 weeks ago. Vikings were scheduled to host Henley on April 30th and May 2nd, but they had to forfeit due to a lack of players. Owens strikes out looking. That is the 10th strikeout of this game for Annie Campos.
Double-digit strikeouts, very impressive.
Campos has reached double-digit strikeouts in every 7-inning game she's pitched this year.
Hidden Valley still, I think they had one ball roll into shallow right field. Other than that, everything's been close to the plate. They just haven't found their groove hitting.
Oh, 2 the count to Knable, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Strikes out swinging. And there's strikeout number 11 for Annie Campos. She had a season-high 13 against Cascade Christian on Wednesday. If Henley doesn't end the game in the bottom of the 6th inning, she could top that. Sandquist swings and misses at the first pitch. Takes the second one up high for a ball.
Yeah, if you have 20-plus strikeouts in 2-game stretch, you're doing things right.
The 1-1. That one in the dirt.
That's the one thing, of course, that's different than baseball is you have a tough pitcher in the first game of doubleheader in baseball, you might see somebody else. It's kind of disheartening when you have to see the same pitcher in game 2 here at softball.
That one low, ball 3. Annie Campos has thrown 90 pitches. So I don't think we're going to see her the whole game, game 2. Probably going to see a few innings of Gracie White and Leliana Segura.
It seems like she's been comfortable throwing around 150 to 160 a day in the doubleheaders we've seen. I think that's kind of her target.
Full count to Sandquist. Sends that one. Did Anna Harper really just, wow. Anna Harper dropping to one knee to make that catch for the 3rd out. Wow.
That was a nifty catch. Had to kind of turn her glove sideways and scoop at the grass. That's a great play.
Incredible stuff. Henley will once again try to end the game early. They need 2 runs to do it in the bottom of the 6th. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. You're watching Hornets softball on mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Henley leads 10-2 as they get ready to come to bat here in the bottom of the sixth. Anna Harper with a great catch in center field to end the inning.
Yeah, she was able to hang on to that. I wasn't sure she could, but she did. She had her mitt underneath it the whole time. That was a great defensive play. That's really the first ball we've seen hit into the outfield with any authority. That was well hit on a line. But Anna Harper makes the catch, records the out.
Dropped to one knee, turned the glove. And she's tall, too. That's a lot harder to do for a tall player.
Right.
Able to get low to the ground like that. It's just one of the things that makes this Henley team so difficult to beat. When they're on, when they're clicking, it doesn't seem like they can do anything wrong.
Yeah, they have a lot of skill, a lot of talent. We also haven't had to see it a whole lot, but Anna Harper's got a terrific arm in center field. She can throw it on a line from the fence to home plate. So you have good range, a good glove, and you can throw. That's just one example of the kind of team Henley has this year.
Samantha Moore takes strike one. She's 0 for 2 on the day. That one is fouled off. Hayden Higgins pinch hit for her earlier. The 0-2. Rolled in the dirt.
Henley just a couple of runs away. They could end this game in this inning. They can get two.
The 1-2. Strike three looking. That's the first strikeout of the day by a Hidden Valley pitcher.
Yeah, Henley's made contact all day. Those first few innings, it just happened that they were hitting the ball right at the defense. Then they started to string together some base hits. So they have made contact all day.
Chloe Owens sends one low to Annie Campos. Coming off a grand slam in her last plate appearance. She's 2 for 3 on the day. Season high, 6 RBI. Her previous high was 5 in a doubleheader, in one of the games of a doubleheader on April 6th against Phoenix. Did she do it again? No, this one's going to stay in and be caught for the out.
That was well hit, just not quite deep enough to get out for out number 2.
Brings up Belle Birch, who is 0 for 3. Takes the first ball in the dirt. Game 2 will start about 20 minutes after the end of this one. And Belle Birch has her first hit of the day on a liner into center field. Brings up Segura.
Good piece of hitting, good even swing, lined it. That's what you want. Coaches don't like pop-ups. You want to hit that ball on a line. That was just right.
Segura 1 for 2 on the day.
Have a replacement runner for the Henley catcher. Those are the two positions they get replacement runners, pitcher and catcher.
First pitch to Segura is swung on, lined past third base. Runner trying to stretch, throw gets away. And there are runners on second and third with 2 out for Jillian Vickery. Chance to end this game for Henley.
And Segura continues her second half hitting streak. She's just really seeing the ball, as they say.
Popped to shallow left, and a great diving catch there by Sam Lesher, denying Henley the run rule and giving Hidden Valley one more chance. We head to the 7th. Hornets up 10-2 here on mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
10-2 lead for Henley as Hidden Valley down to their last 3 outs here in the top of the 2nd.
We've seen some nice defense here today, Matt. Sam Lesher to end that last inning for Hidden Valley out in left field. She was on a full sprint to catch that ball. Made a really nice catch. And then, of course, Anna Harper's grab in the earlier part of the inning. So, seeing some good defense. 2 good teams here today.
A great catch while falling forward, too.
Yeah. Not easy. Not an easy play.
So, Annie Campos comes in with 11 strikeouts. She could match or surpass her season high that she set on Wednesday with 13. It's going to be Emily Hill to lead things off for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Campos has taken care of a lot of hitters in these late innings. She gave her defense a chance to work in the first couple, but since then she's pitched very well.
First pitch to Hill is upstairs for ball 1. That one on the bottom of the zone for a strike.
One defensive change that I see here for Henley. Looks like Alana Benson's in left.
Campos sends that one up high. 2-1. In the dirt, ball 3. And would you believe it, that is the 4th baseball to reach the inside of the softball field.
I think we're learning that left field is a dangerous position here for these softballers. We've seen a few foul balls from the boys' game end up over here today.
There were a few on Wednesday also.
Yeah.
Hadn't happened much throughout most of the season.
I think that wind was crazy stiff, kind of blowing out. And we weren't getting as many foul balls. I think that wind was holding them up. But on calm days like today, they make their way onto the field.
Strike 3 looking. Update from the baseball field. Henley's up 4-2 in the top of the 6th inning. And they just got the 3rd out. So Henley 3 outs away from clinching the baseball Skyline Conference Championship. That one's also being live streamed on mybasin.com and on the radio. 104.3 and 960 Sports with Josh Eldridge on the call.
Yeah, we're going to have a fun couple of weeks with both the boys and the girls side here. They should get 2 home games if they continue to win in the playoffs.
0-2 lined right to first, and that's an easy out for Gracie White. Barely had to take 2 steps once she got that ball.
Playoffs are always a fun time, elimination games, and when you get to host those games, it makes for a really fun atmosphere, especially when both teams are playing here at Henley at the same time.
Not just Henley, Oregon Tech
right
is hosting the NAIA opening round next week. One of 5 teams in the Klamath Falls Regional.
There's a lot of action on the diamonds around Klamath Falls in the next couple of weeks. It'll be fun. And they're all meaningful games. That's when it's the most fun.
Looks like Adriana Orellana is going to come pinch hit for Natalie Fay. She swings and misses at the first pitch. Harley Hips was the previous batter for Hidden Valley. She pinch hit for Briella Jacob, who moved to first base after getting pulled from the circle. 0-2 to Orellana. I think that one was foul.
And the Mustangs still have plenty to play for. They have a postseason ahead of them. They'll finish second in the Skyline, and they're ranked in the top 15 as of today. So they have some more softball ahead of them.
0-2. Caught, and that will do it. I think that was Moore making the catch there.
That was Moore at second base with a good catch.
Nice one on a hard pop. So Henley wraps up a 10-2 win in Game 1 of this doubleheader. Annie Campos with a 2-way masterclass. 12 strikeouts in the circle, 6 RBI, including a grand slam at the plate. Her senior day is off to a fantastic start, and she will look to continue it when we start Game 2 in about 20 minutes. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. Any quick thoughts to wrap up Game 1, Kevin?
No, Henley did what they needed to do. You know, we've talked about it. We've seen a couple games like this. Maybe this next game they'll come off to a little better start, get some of those quirks defensively kind of worked out, and hopefully they'll roll into the playoffs.
They turned it on once again later in the game. 6 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning after they scored 2 in the bottom of the 3rd to tie it up after trailing 2-0. Then just exploded in the 4th, added a couple more in the 5th. But Henley just doing what they do. You know, like we said, once they get rolling, they are so tough to stop.
Yeah, it's not just about hitting, it's also about timely hitting. And Henley seems to do very well when they have bases loaded or 2 in scoring position. They get the hitter they want up there, and they're able to drive those runs in. So more timely hitting and some great pitching today for Henley.
All right, we're going to step aside. We will keep this stream up, so you don't need to go anywhere. And we'll see you back here for Game 2 in about 20 minutes. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. You're watching Henley Softball on mybasin.com. All right, looks like we're about ready for game 2 here at Henley between the Hornets and the Hidden Valley Mustangs. Once again, Matt Bowling with you here alongside Kevin Petrick. Hornets won the first game 10-2, thanks in part to a 6-run fourth inning that included a grand slam from Annie Campos. She also had 12 strikeouts in the circle while allowing just 1 hit. She is not going to get the start in game 2. She threw 103 pitches in game 1, so the Hornets will roll with Leliana Segura, the sophomore, to start things off here in the second. This is the first game she has started this season. She's made 8 appearances, pitched a total of 10 1/3 innings, has been credited with 1 win, brings an ERA of 4.07, has recorded 6 walks and 8 strikeouts. Longest she's gone was 4 1/3 innings against Crook County on April 20th. And that was a game that Henley trailed 8-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. They scored 5 runs that inning to send it to extras, then walked it off in the bottom of the 9th. One of the best games we've seen all year. But in that game, Segura threw 4 1/3 innings, gave up 2 hits, 2 earned runs, walked 2, and struck out 4. So she's got the stuff. And she, a sophomore, is going to be probably one of the pitchers that Henley is going to look to replace Annie Campos next season.
Yeah, when you're looking into the postseason coming up, you pretty much need that second pitcher. Even if you have an ace like Annie Campos, there's going to be situations where you're going to need a number 2. And Segura's done a good job her last few outings. So this is a good test for her today.
She does walk the first batter. Next one bunts. They get the out at first. But Sam Lesher is going to head to third.
Well, the runner is called safe at first. It was a close play. I thought they got her over there, but they did call her safe, so everybody's safe. It was a good hard throw over to first. I thought it was in time, but it was not apparently. So Hidden Valley's off to a good start here in the first.
Runners on the corners with nobody out for Aubrey Schmidt.
This is the game Henley still would like to win. We talked about all the ramifications of being ranked number 1 or 2. You definitely want to be one of those top 2 teams.
Yeah, this is the last game that counts for the rankings for Henley. They freeze Monday night. Runner advances to second. And the runner, Lesher, comes in to score from third. So for the second game in a row, Hidden Valley scores first. This time they score in the first inning. That one popped foul.
Yeah, Hidden Valley knows how to start off a game. They had a good start in that first inning of the last game, and they've already got a run here. We've just started. Still nobody out.
The 0-2. Chopped foul. Drilled to first. And a fantastic recovery out there. That's Gracie White still out there at first base.
That was a nice play. She caught that right in the web of her glove, moving to her right. That was a pretty hard hit ball. She made a good play to get that out. And definitely save another run.
And Chloe Owens gets walked. So runners at the corners, nobody out. Looks like we're going to have
I'm not
no,
sure.
Chloe Owens comes back. She did not walk.
Yeah, they may have thought maybe she was hit by the pitch, and then they changed their mind.
There's a called strike to Owens. Henley got down 2-0 in the first game. They tied it at 2 in the bottom of the third before exploding for 6 runs in the fourth and adding 2 more in the fifth. The 1-2 to Owens. Fouled off.
Segura started in the circle today, so Alana Benson takes her place in left field. Annie Campos is not in the field at this time.
The 1-2.
I think that's just ball 2.
Yeah, Owens thought she walked. A little confused on the count. Drilled to first, and another great catch by White. They throw to third. And back in safely is Emma Mendez.
White getting some action over at first here early in this game. Another nice defensive play. Then she made a great throw to third and almost got the runner there. So some good play at first base for Henley. And Hidden Valley's talking strategy. They'd like to get this second run across if they could. Runner on third. Now with 2 out.
On the other side, a great chance for Segura to limit the damage to 1 run here.
We'll have a stoppage in play here for a moment.
Looks like it's going to be Maddie Knable up to bat. Yeah, not sure what the delay was about there.
Yeah, me neither. I'm trying to figure out what caused everybody to stop out there. It might have been a lineup situation, trying to figure that out. Maybe there was an error on the card, but now we're back.
So 2 out and a runner on third. Ball 1 inside. Pop to center. Harper comes in, can't make the catch. Another run will score for Hidden Valley as the inning continues.
That was a good hit. That was definitely a base hit. There was just really no way Harper could have got to that ball. She almost did, but it was way in front. She couldn't quite make the grab, and once again, Hidden Valley with a 2-run lead to open up the game.
Brings up Bailey Sandquist. Takes the first pitch high. The 1-0. Swung on and missed. Anna Harper makes the catch. That was fantastic. Caught almost behind her on the run.
Yeah, it was. We've seen good defense. There's another one.
So Henley to the plate in the bottom of the first, trailing 2-0. When we come back here on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Henley comes to bat for the first time in Game 2, trailing 2-0. Hornets went down 2-0 early in Game 1. Ended up winning 10-2. They're going to face Chloe Owens in the circle. She pitched the last 2 innings of the first game. Only allowed 2 hits, struck out 1. That was the first time Henley had seen her this season.
Yeah, she threw pretty well in Game 1. And we'll see if she can continue that. Henley again with a 2-0 deficit as they appear at the plate here for the first time in Game 2.
Anna Harper, who had that excellent running catch in center field to end the top of the inning, will lead things off here in the bottom of the first. Takes the first pitch in the dirt. Harper was 1 for 4 with an RBI in Game 1. Another pitch high, ball 2. To Harper, she fouls this one off. Two one. Chopper to short. Harper can't beat the throw.
Hidden Valley's shown they can play good defense too. They're strong in the infield. That was a nice play there.
Samantha Moore squares up a bunt, pulls back, takes ball 1 in the dirt. strike one.
Infield's playing in. There's nobody on and only one out, but they're thinking bunt.
The 1-1 popped into center field and caught for the out. That was actually Susie Nichols batting. Normally the 9-hole hitter. They moved her to the 2 spot for this game.
Yeah, we haven't seen many lineup changes. It's been working for Henley, but good to mix it up a little bit today.
Annie Campos takes ball 1 in the dirt. Campos, the designated player in this game. I assume she's hitting for Alana Benson.
She had a couple big hits in game 1.
Two-oh. Yeah, in the first game, 2 for 4 with 6 RBI, 4 of which came on a grand slam. And here she takes a 4-pitch walk. So 1 on and 2 out as Birch chops one past third base, and she is aboard.
That one just found its way into the outfield. There was a little gap between shortstop and third. That ball just made its way right through there for a base hit.
Courtesy runner on for Birch as Leliana Segura comes up. 2 for 3 in game 1. Takes ball 1 low. One 0. That one a called strike. The 1-1. Chopper to short. And that time they make the play, throw to first for the out. Henley strands 2. They trail 2-0 as we head to the second here on Mason.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
I think my camera's dead.
As we get started here with the second inning, looks like we need to switch our battery out. That's why we bring 2 batteries for doubleheaders. Leliana Segura back to the circle for Henley. Henley trailing 2-0. Hornets stranded a couple runners in the bottom of the first. First pitch, a called strike. As is the second.
Good pitch there from Segura. Good placement.
Swung on and missed. Strike three in the dirt, but they throw to first for the out.
That was well done by Belle Birch. Found the ball, then took her time and threw a rocket to first. It was going to take a good throw to get her, and she made the play.
This is Briella Jacob. Game one pitcher. Lines one to second. And one pitch, one out for Leliana Segura. You will take those every time.
Absolutely. And the Henley defense will have to play a little differently without Annie pitching. They'll have to rely a little more on their defense. She strikes out a lot of batters. We'll see a few more hits here.
Natalie Fay, the 9-hole hitter for the Mustangs. Takes ball one. Two-oh. Called strike.
You can really see, I think, with every pitch, Laylee is getting a little more comfortable. It just takes time. She hasn't thrown a lot, so she's doing a good job in there.
The bunt goes to Segura, and she throws to first to end the inning. Henley still down 2-0, looking to answer in the bottom of the second. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. You're watching Hornets softball on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Vickery, Hudson, and White due up for Henley here in the bottom of the second. Hornets trailing 2-0 after Hidden Valley scored a pair in the top of the first.
Very encouraging second inning of defense there for Henley. Good job defensively, not allowing Hidden Valley to score.
Vickery fouls this one off. Yeah, Mustangs actually went down in order in the top of the second.
That's just what you want, especially with a sophomore pitcher in there.
0-1 upstairs for a ball. Ball 2. Called strike 2.
That was a good changeup. Put right on the inside part of the plate. Good pitch.
The 2-2. Lined right to first. A nice catch by Briella Jacob for the out.
I don't know if we've seen a game this year, Matt, with this many good defensive plays.
I was thinking the same thing, Kevin.
Yeah, that was a rocket, and she just made it look easy. Nicely done over there.
So up comes Natalie Hudson, who was 1 for 3 in game 1. Drives the first pitch into right field, but it's caught for the out.
This is very similar. I'm always amazed how similar patterns can be. This is just like game 1. Henley gets behind by a couple of runs. They're hitting the ball, but they're hitting it right to players on the defense. It wasn't until the 3rd or 4th inning where those hits were turned into base hits for the Hornets.
Gracie White was 1 for 2 with an RBI in game 1. Two-0 count. Upstairs 3-0. White hitting an even .400 on the season. And she walks.
That pitch just a little low in the strike zone.
Brings up Samantha Moore. Usually hits in the 2nd spot, but batting 9th in this game, switching places with Susie Nichols. Looks at a ball here. Moore pops one foul in front of the Hidden Valley dugout. Another one fouled off. Moore has 1 home run this season. And she strikes out here. That sends us to the 3rd inning. Henley still down 2-0 on mybasin.com.
And not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
Top of the order due up for Hidden Valley here in the third. Starting with Sam Lesher. She drew a walk to begin the game. Takes ball one here. Over the head of Birch and off the backstop.
Segura only had to face 3 hitters in the second. See if she can do that again. She's starting to find a rhythm up there.
Three-0 count. And there's a called strike. The 3-1. Big swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Nice work coming back from 3-0. Segura's got a chance to get this batter now.
Full count to Lesher. Strike 3. Leliana Segura comes all the way back from a 3-0 count to strike out the leadoff hitter for the Mustangs. Impressive stuff from the sophomore.
They're really showing some poise up there. It gets a little bit of adversity. Really well done striking that batter out.
Emma Mendez fouls off the first pitch. Lines one into center field. And Mendez is aboard with a single.
Good hit. Good even stroke. Line drive into center. With a base hit.
Aubrey Schmidt got an RBI on a ground out, her first time up. And Mendez steals second.
Good aggressive base running. I like seeing that. Take some risks. Test that defense. Test the catcher. Get your runners in scoring position.
Grounder to second. They get the out. Runner goes to third. My mistake. Schmidt wasn't. She didn't get an RBI on the ground out. It was actually prior to the ground out that the run scored. Two out, runner on third. That ball is fair. Nope, foul.
Yeah, you know what? From our vantage point here, we're on the third base side. That was a good call. It was headed. It looked like it was going to skip over the base, and it just darted out of play. So that was a good call. The ball was foul for strike.
Oh, 1 the count to Owens. She fouls another one off over the Henley dugout.
Segura with a good chance to end this inning and strand that runner.
The 0-2. Got her looking. Another scoreless inning for Hidden Valley as Leliana Segura strands a runner at third. Hornets will try to push some of their own runs across in the bottom half here on mybin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Top of the order due up for Henley in the bottom of the third. Starting with Anna Harper.
See if those Henley bats can get going. This is kind of the way they've done things. Second time through the lineup. They're a good contact hitting team. We'll see if some of these hits can find their way into some open space for base hits.
This is the inning where things started to turn around for Henley in game one. They trailed 2-0. Annie Campos drove in both runs before hitting a grand slam the following inning. Harper this game grounded out her first time up. Lines one right to third. And Lesher just had to squat down to make that catch.
That ball was head high. It was a rope. Hit right to the third baseman, Lesher. And she made a nice play.
Brings up Susie Nichols. She flew out her first time up. That's one to short, and they throw her out at first. 2 outs in 3 pitches for Chloe Owens.
That left side of the infield playing really well for the Mustangs. 2 quick outs. And the outfielders have backed up. They're playing deep for Annie Campos.
As they should be. She is a power hitter. That grand slam in game one was her 4th home run of the season. 2 of those have come against Hidden Valley now.
Yeah, that was one of those home runs where as soon as she hit it, you knew it was gone.
She's got a 3-0 count. And that's a strike toward the bottom of the zone. Pitchers, for the most part, have been trying to stay away from Annie Campos today. I went a little higher. Strike 2. Full count.
That was a good location on that. Upper part of the strike zone on the corner. Good pitch.
Campos walks. That one a little inside.
Yeah, since that home run, they haven't given her a lot to hit, and you can understand that. That makes sense. She's back on first with a walk.
And Belle Birch, who singled in her first at-bat, is going to try to advance her. Drilled to second, and that will end the inning. Henley's still trailing 2-0 as we head to the fourth here on mybasin.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Knable, Sandquist, and Hips due up for Hidden Valley here in the top of the fourth. Mustangs with a 2-0 lead over Henley. And Knable, who drove in one of those runs, is going to lead off.
You know, nerves play a part here for a player like Leliana Segura. She's a sophomore. She's coming into pitch here. Skyline game. One you want to win. And she's done really well working through this game.
Knable fouls the first pitch over the Henley dugout.
I think she's improving with every inning. And we've seen that in her hitting as well. Her hitting's picked up this season as well as the season's gone along. So doing a good job in the circle here today.
You know, she's shaping up to be a player that Henley's really going to be able to rely on in the coming seasons.
Yeah.
The 1-1 popped foul down the first baseline and drifts out over the fence. One and two, the count to Knable. And she strikes out looking.
Doesn't strike out.
Fourth strikeout of the game for Segura.
We're seeing somewhat of a pitcher's duel here. Not a lot of base runners.
That matches her season high, which was set in that Crook County game. Throw to first gets away, and this is going to be extra bases. Sliding into second is Bailey Sandquist.
That was a tough play to make. Had to make a quick throw from a long way across the field. Didn't quite get there. And Hidden Valley has a chance to score here again with just one out.
It's Harley Hips Lines one into center field past Segura, but Sandquist is going to hold up at third. We only saw Hips in one pinch hitting appearance in game one. Game two, she gets the start.
Yeah, she made the most of that at-bat. And Henley's going to take a time out here to talk about things. Hidden Valley's threatening to extend this lead. And Henley wants to keep it close. I think Henley's confident they can score a handful of runs. They just want to keep their opponents around 3 or 4 is a good target. You never know sometimes, but it's a good number.
So runners at the corners, 1 out for Briella Jacob.
We haven't seen a double play in some time. This would be a good time to turn one.
Swings at the first pitch in the dirt.
A little surprised that runner wasn't over at second on that play. See if she goes this time.
0-1. Upstairs. Runner holds. That one, a called strike 2. The 1-2. In the dirt, runner does go to second, and they get her. But the run comes in to score.
It's a good throw from Belle Birch, but that's why you send that runner. If you force a throw, you're almost guaranteed that run will score. So you have to kind of prioritize things, whether you want the run or the runner. And I think Hidden Valley's happy with that.
2-2. Line to third and thrown to first for the out. Hidden Valley adds another. They lead 3-0 heading to the bottom of the fourth. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. You're watching Henley Softball on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Segura, Vickery, and Hudson due up for Henley in the bottom of the fourth. As Chloe Owens returns to the circle for Hidden Valley.
Yeah, Owens is throwing a shutout here against the number 1 team in Oregon. So she's having a good second game. Not many teams have been able to hold Henley's bats. We'll see if she can continue.
Owens, one of 2 seniors on the Hidden Valley roster, trying to leave Henley with a bit of a sour taste on their own senior day. Henley needs to win this game in order to secure the number 1 seed. 1-0 to Segura. Driven past short into left field, and Segura's aboard.
Good base hit. She's adding to her good Saturday afternoon. A little pitching, a little bit of hitting. Another good play by Laley.
Throw to first, gets away, and Segura will head to second.
Good aggressive running by Henley. Anytime you can force a throw to those bases, you have a chance of that happening right there. The ball gets by the first baseman, goes into right field, you get a base.
The 1-0 to Vickery. Ball in the dirt. Vickery lined out to first. Her first time up. She's got a 3-0 count here.
Yeah, she hit the ball hard that first appearance, just right at the first baseman.
3-0, a called strike. The 3-1. Chopped to short. They get her at first, but Segura heads to third. So Natalie Hudson, who flew out her first time up, is going to try to drive in Segura. Another fly out here could score the run if it's deep enough.
Right, with just one out. Chance to get Henley on the scoreboard. Anything deep should score the runner.
First pitch in the dirt. Drilled to the circle. Little hesitation. Run scores. They do get Hudson out at first.
Yes, Segura got a great jump off of third. She didn't even hesitate, and that's why the pitcher had to make a decision, and there was no chance at the plate, so that was a good call to go to first and get that out. But Henley will tally a run, cut that lead down to 2.
Gracie White walked her first time up. It was a 4-pitch walk. Takes another ball here on the first pitch. The 1-0 in the dirt. The 2-0. Drilled towards second, and she beats the throw.
There's some speed over there from Gracie White. There wasn't much more the defensive shortstop could have done on that play. Got the ball over there as quickly as she could, and she just beat the throw. Good hustle.
Samantha Moore struck out looking her first time up. Here she gets hit. Throws the bat on her way to first. Not sure if that's enthusiasm or pain relief.
Well, Henley working here with a 2-out rally. See if Anna Harper can continue it.
Harper 0 for 2 so far this game. Pops one foul into the safety netting. Harper is tied with Leliana Segura for the team lead with 6 home runs this season. It's also third in RBI with 30. Takes one low here. She's also third on the team with 11 2-out RBI. The 1-1. Called strike.
That was a good pitch, keeping the ball in the inside corner.
Payoff pitch here for Owens. Chance to get out of the inning. Harper, ball dived for, but they're unable to get to it, and the bases are loaded.
That was one of those strange hits. It looked like that ball had a lot of spin on it, and by the time it made it to the fielder, it just was too hard to pick up. They couldn't make a play.
Yeah, Lesher initially dove for it from third. Then it kind of bounced over to Schmidt, who was unable to field it cleanly. So we're going to have a pinch hitter here. Hayden Higgins is going to hit for Susie Nichols. Higgins also pinch hit in the first game, got a hit.
Yeah, she's capable at the plate for sure. When she comes in there, she does a good job.
First pitch is a ball to Higgins.
She's also got a lot of speed, so if she can hit a ground ball, she could probably beat that throw to first if that situation comes up.
Pop up, shallow center. They can't make the catch. And this game is tied.
That was just hit in that sweet spot in shallow center field. It's just hard to get to the ball. No one could quite get there for Hidden Valley. And, of course, with 2 outs, those runners were moving on the pitch. So 2 runs scored for the Hornets, and we're tied. Hayden Higgins comes through again.
Right before that pitch, I was going to say she's hitting .583 with runners in scoring position.
Good move by Coach Stock. We found a good opportunity for her. And they made the most of it.
So we're seeing, much like game 1, Henley trailed 2-0, headed to the bottom of the third. They tied it up. Now here they trailed 3-0, headed to the bottom of the fourth, and have now tied it up. And they may not be done just yet. Annie Campos is up. And, of course, we've seen what she can do in these kinds of situations. 1-0 is upstairs.
Yeah, Campos has had a lot of opportunity today. A lot of base runners in front of her.
2-0. Outside.
They're just not giving her a lot to hit. Since she hit that grand slam, they probably don't mind giving her first base right here.
.3-0 called strike. The 3-1. Swung on and missed. Throw gets away. Run comes in to score. Henley has the lead.
We saw a similar situation last inning. It was reversed. If you can force a throw to second with a runner on third, you're almost guaranteed that run. So good break for Henley, and the runner's safe at second.
Now Campos drills one into left field, and this is going to score another one. It's 5-3 Henley on a stand-up double from Annie Campos.
Took a two-strike pitch and just drove it into left field for another RBI. She may have 7 today, I believe. Good hitting.
She does have 7, and now Belle Birch is going to try to drive her in.
Henley doing a lot of damage with 2 outs.
Birch lines one into center field, and Campos comes around to score. She slides in safely at home. Back-to-back doubles for the Hornets, and it's 6-3.
That was a good throw from center field. That play was close. But Campos got there just in time.
Lainey Hadley is going to be the courtesy runner for Belle Birch. She's a sophomore, promoted from the JV roster.
Yeah, she's another player with good speed, so it makes sense to have her out there.
We also saw her as a courtesy runner in the first game. So this is her first varsity action of the season.
The JVs wrapped up their season. They're done, so the varsity will add a few players to their roster as they go into the postseason. And Laney's one of those ads.
0-1 for Leliana Segura is a ball. She's 1 for 2 this game. Popped toward the circle. Nobody's got it. Another run scores for Henley.
That was good base running with 2 out. Coaches always tell you to take off and don't stop when there's 2 down, but you don't always remember to do that. Henley did that just right there to get that run. That was a tough situation. The ball was hit straight up, and it looked like nobody called it. Nobody wanted to take charge of that pop out, and so the ball just hit.
I think that's going to be scored as an error. So it's 7-3 Henley. This is now a 7-run 4th inning for the Hornets. Game 1, they had a 6-run 3rd inning. Overcame a 2-0 deficit. Now they've overcome a 3-0 deficit. Just doing it a little bigger here in Game 2. Runner goes, and they get her at second. but not before Henley turns a 3-run deficit into a 4-run lead. We head to the 5th. Hornets firmly in control. MyBasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Henley scored 7 runs in the 4th inning. 6 of them came with 2 outs.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. This Henley lineup, you think you've kind of got them under control. You get 2 outs, and then they just go for a bunch of runs, even with 2 outs. So they're just a hard crew to get out. And another big inning.
Leliana Segura back to the circle for the Hornets. Who are 9 outs away from, at least we think should be the case, locking up the number 1 seed.
That would be quite an accomplishment, quite an achievement.
Natalie Fay chops one foul toward her own dugout. It's 1-1.
That was a good pitch, fooled the hitter.
Two. Down low, full count. Dropped strike 3, but they get her out at first.
That was a good at-bat for Segura pitching. She really kept her off balance. Put that ball in different places, didn't give her anything really easy to hit, and then got her on strike 3. Good effort.
And that's the 5th strikeout of the game for Segura. New season high. Back to the top of the order with Lesher, who was one of the other 4 strikeouts earlier, has also drawn a walk. She's got a 2-0 count here. Called strike. Two one. Popped up and behind the netting. Two. Popped into center field. Harper's got a read on it. and she's got the second out.
Nice easy pop-up for out number 2. I think Segura's really found a rhythm.
Brings up Emma Mendez, who is 1 for 2. That one gets away from Segura. Called strike to Mendez.
Chance here to get out of this inning.
The 0-2 to Mendez. Popped up to third. And it's caught for the out by Vickery. Another 1-2-3 inning for Leliana Segura and the Hornets. They lead 7-3 heading to the bottom of the 5th here on mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between. We keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Henley, after a 7-run 4th inning, will look to extend the lead further in the bottom of the 5th. A win for the Hornets would most likely secure the number 1 seed. Meanwhile, Henley baseball playing behind us, if they can also complete a doubleheader sweep of Hidden Valley, that could move them from the number 2 into the number 1. Mustangs are ranked number 12. Henley won the first game 4-2. They currently lead 3-0 in the top of the 5th in game 2. Tell you what, Mark Carpenter is over there having himself a game. At the plate, he's 2 for 2 with a double and a 2-run homer. Pitching through 5 innings, he's allowed 3 hits and struck out 8. So, could shape up to be a really great day for both Henley teams.
Yeah, it's quite an accomplishment to have your softball and baseball teams in the top 2. It doesn't happen very often. It's been a special year for Henley sports for sure.
Jillian Vickery ropes one into left field. And she's going to try to stretch 2 and get there successfully. The hit parade continues for the Hornets.
That was a good hit. Just a nice swing, and that ball just flared into the outfield, and made a good decision to round first. Saw she had some time and ended up with a double to lead off.
Natalie Hudson has one RBI this game. She lays down a bunt, trips on her way to first. But they call her safe?
Okay, it looks like they're going to say that the first baseman making the play actually tripped up the runner. They're going to call interference on the defense there, so they will award her first base. And the Hidden Valley coach isn't thrilled with that, so there's a little conference behind home plate.
She didn't trip, she was tripped.
Right, I think that's
they
the call.
say.
Right, that's the call that they made. Now, it normally is the runner's job to get out of the way of the ball in making the play. And I'm sure that's what they're arguing. But the call is going to stand, it looks like.
So runners at the corners with nobody out for Gracie White.
Well, now we're going to have a conference with the umpires. I'm going to talk about this one. This is a close call here. Because if the first baseman's trying to make a play on the ball and they happen to run into the runner, I don't see any change. I think we're going to stick with it.
White has a hit and a walk in game 2.
So nobody out. Good chance for Henley here. Get some more runners across.
Driven to first. They can't make the play. Oh, White trucks a fielder unintentionally. Run scores. And doesn't look like they're going to get Gracie White on any kind of interference or anything.
Nobody's out over there. Everything was within the base path there. Let me tell you, that first baseline, that's a rough territory over there. A lot of collisions here in the last couple at bats. But everybody seems to be okay.
Bunt gets down. Runners hold. Everybody is safe. The bases are loaded.
And that was a good bunt. In that situation, there was time to make the play at first, but there was nobody at first. The second baseman did not decide to go over and cover first. So there was no play.
Well done there by Samantha Moore. And Anna Harper with a massive opportunity. Bases loaded, nobody out. Big swing and miss at the first pitch.
That was a big swing.
She's 1 for 3 here in game 2.
She's a power hitter.
Driven fair down the third baseline. 1 run scores. 2 runs. And that will be it as Moore slides into second. A 2-run double for Anna Harper, and it's a 10-3 lead for Henley.
She took a big cut on that first pitch, and she connected on that one. Drove her right down the third base line and got a couple RBI. Well done.
All of a sudden, we're looking at a possible run rule here, as there's 2 in scoring position, nobody out for Susie Nichols. Hornets need 3 more. First pitch to Nichols is in the dirt.
Yeah, base hit here would get you close to that run rule.
Chloe Owens is at 80 pitches. She threw 20 in game 1. So you have to wonder where she might be from a fatigue standpoint.
Right. Because she put a good effort in the first 3 or so innings of this game. She held Henley to no runs. But Henley's had a lot more success here lately.
Samantha Moore was making like she was going to go home on that ball in the dirt. Sandquist threw back to third. Lesher wasn't in position, though, so she ended up just pegging Moore with the ball. That doesn't count as a tag.
No.
Although it would make things a bit more interesting if it did. Sort of like dodgeball rules. You can tag them or you can peg them.
Need some body armor for that.
Nichols walks. So here we go. Annie Campos up to bat with the bases loaded and nobody out. This is about the worst possible situation for any Henley opponent.
Yeah, Annie's proven herself in this situation.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Annie Campos, walk-off, run rule, grand slam. 2 games, 2 grand slams. Happy senior day, Annie Campos.
I was just going to say that's a pretty memorable way to wrap up the league and your senior day. That was quite an effort. Terrific pitching in game 1, and just some amazing hitting from Annie Campos.
That is just what she does. I mean, what else can you say?
A good effort for Henley there. Segura getting a complete game win in the circle. And Henley bats coming alive last few innings. Just a good day for the Hornets. And they go undefeated in league.
Yeah, 2nd year in a row that Henley has gone undefeated in Skyline Conference play, although they expanded the league schedule this year. So each team faced opponents 4 times instead of 3. So last season, Henley went 12-0 in league play. This season, they went 16-0.
Well, Coach Doc and the staff, I'm sure they're very happy with the way things have gone. So they'll wait and see how the playoffs line up, who their opponent is. They'll get home game to start. And just a great season in the making here for Henley.
Absolutely. All in all, a fantastic senior day for the Hornets. Let's run through a couple notable stat lines for you. In game 1, we mentioned Annie Campos, 2 for 4 at the plate, 6 RBI. In the circle, she pitched 7 innings, allowed 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 12 strikeouts. In game 2, Leliana Segura, with her first start of the season and what turned out to be her longest outing of the year in the circle, 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, walked 1, struck out 5. At the plate, Annie Campos, 2 for 2 with 5 RBI, including her second grand slam of the day to walk this off by run rule. She has been an absolute pleasure to watch this season in both basketball and softball, and we'll get to see plenty more of her as Henley prepares for a playoff run. Also, Anna Harper, 2 for 4 in Game 2 with 2 RBI. Hayden Higgins, 1 for 1 with 2 RBI. And those were all the multiple RBIs for Henley.
Yeah, that's what makes you successful in softball for sure is you can have 1 or 2 good hitters, but you need 6, 7, 8. You need a good lineup top to bottom to compete for a state championship, and I think Henley's there. So they've done a nice job scoring a lot of runs. Their defense at times has been a little suspect, but they seem to always pull it together as the game progresses, and just another good win against a good Hidden Valley team.
So Henley has one more game scheduled for the regular season. It's against Caldera, 5A number 6 Caldera, on next Thursday, May 16th. That game will not count, essentially will not count because the rankings will have already frozen at that point. They freeze Monday night. It will count for Henley's record, but it won't count for their rankings. So, for all intents and purposes, might as well be a scrimmage. Still, though, a good chance for Henley to warm up for the playoffs against a pretty tough team, a team they actually faced to start the season on March 15th and lost 15-5. So that game is going to be at 4:30 next Thursday. We are not sure at this point if we're going to be able to bring that to you here on mybasin.com because Oregon Tech is going to be hosting the opening round of the NAIA tournament. Thursday will be the championship day of that regional, so we plan to cover that as well, and we're just not 100% sure at this time what we're going to be looking at personnel-wise, where I'm going to be, whether I'm going to be able to come out here or whether I'm going to have to be up at Oregon Tech. So we'll let you know on our Facebook page, 960 Sports. If you don't follow us there, you should do that. We will detail our coverage plans as we get closer to next Thursday. But, Kevin, any final thoughts before we wrap it up here?
No, that was a fun game. We've had a lot of fun ones, and looking forward to the playoffs.
14-3, your final. Henley sweeps the doubleheader with Hidden Valley. They go 16-0, undefeated in Skyline Conference play. They are 28-0 in Skyline Conference play through the last 2 seasons. For my partner, Kevin Petrick, I'm Matt Bowling, wishing you a great rest of your Saturday. You've been watching Henley Softball on mybasin.com.